bureau number.
It's the difference between human eyes and a camera.
At last, NAV 23990. This is the bureau number. Unique to each aircraft, it will tell Graham how it came to be here. With their mission accomplished, they head back to the surface. While Florida celebrates the 4th of July, Graham is already stuck into the naval accident reports. It's the moment he's waited for 12 years. NAV 23990, lost at sea. On the 9th October 1943, FT-87, piloted by Ensign George Swint, was returning to Fort Lauderdale from a bombing run. On board were Airman Second Class Sam Trees and Jay Lewis. At precisely 12:20 p.m., the engine suffered a catastrophic loss of fuel and ditched. Swint and his crew survived. FT-87, lost for 60 years. Graham now knows how she got here. Of the remaining 4 wrecks, one is missing its whole tail section. And there is only one accident report from August 1944 showing a fatal mid-air collision where the tail was destroyed. Could this be the final resting place of pilot John Barry and Airmen 3rd Class Joe Marcotte and Fred Burns? For Graham, it's the scenario he least expected. Despite the odds, they are just a random collection of accidents that came to rest in the same place 12 miles from home. Based on the information before him, Phil can make an accurate guess at where Flight 19 ditched.
The various HFDF stations produced a very good fix at 10 minutes to 6, and as you can see, it's up in the North Atlantic, about 100 miles off Daytona Beach, nowhere near the Gulf of Mexico.
But by the time the tower received the fix, Flight 19 was already out of range. Ironically, that fix put them only 25 minutes from Daytona Beach. At that stage, they were still going west, towards home. At 7:15, they were overheard discussing turning east. At 7:45, they would have had enough fuel to continue for another 15 minutes, which means they probably ditched here, about 220 miles east of Daytona Beach. We now know what happened to the flight. The question is, why did an experienced pilot like Taylor not realize this gross error? What was going on in his mind?
He established a mindset fairly early on, after he had realized he wasn't on the correct track, that he was in the Keys at Florida.
Phil has concluded that as conditions deteriorated, Taylor suffered a serious mental breakdown, a kind of tunnel vision that made him blind to any of the options he was offered.
I don't think you could be over the Keys. Our wind chart suggests you can't have been blown in that direction.
Today, this condition is known as spatial disorientation. It is considered to be one of the most dangerous threats to any pilot.
There was no shaking it. And this is not an unusual phenomenon. People decide on something, and then with the stress of the occasion, they will stick with that initial concept because in their mind it's very real. Once he got this mindset, it was going to stay with him until forever because no one was going to jog him out of it.
This would explain why Taylor insisted his compass wasn't working.
We don't know which way is west. Everything is wrong.
But what about the rescue plane that also disappeared? Martin mariners were known as flying gas tanks. Several had exploded in mid-air due to a spark or even a crewman's cigarette. A few days into the search, a report from a ship in the area claimed an explosion had been seen in the sky at the same time as the mariner vanished.
Right, man. It's 2000 hours.
I felt hopeless because there's nothing more you can do. The worst night I ever had in my life.
After 60 years, what happened to Flight 19 is now clear. And like so many mysteries, there is always a rational explanation available, if you choose to believe it.
People love a mystery. They want a mystery. No matter what it is, they want their mystery.
Which is why the Bermuda Triangle will remain the most romantic of the ocean's great myths.